All right, we're joined in the media center by Pro Stock Provisional #1 qualifier Dallas Glenn, who went to the top with his run of 6.543, 209 miles per hour. Dallas, if it holds, your first #1 qualifier of the year. Being off a month and coming back and putting a run like that together to get things started this weekend, how happy were you guys with that?
We were pretty happy. I mean, I'm sure they probably, the crew chiefs, I'm sure they feel like there's more left in it, but to come out and put a nice solid lap down and be the really shows that we were working hard and kind of stayed in the groove, and we didn't have too much rust to shake off. Everything felt real good in the car and everything. The run felt nice and smooth and everything felt natural and everything. So I was glad I didn't make any mistakes on my part. But
you talked about being away. How excited were you guys to get back to racing and just get back in action this weekend?
We were so excited to get back to racing that we actually showed up early to the race. Normally we're one of the last ones to roll through the gate. We usually roll through on Thursday. We actually got here Wednesday afternoon. We were so ready to get back to racing. In the flip is sometimes it's good to get a little bit of time off. You get to fix some things that you may not have had time to kind of do right before. You kind of had some band-aid stuff in the trailer and stuff like that we were fixed, and got some new things on the trailer and everything. But as far as the race cars goes, it was definitely, we were ready to come back. Those long breaks they hit real hard, especially by the end of them. And to have that many weeks in a row, it was definitely glad I got to go do some bracket racing.
So was that the most memorable thing you did during? Was that the most memorable thing you did during your time off? Was bracket racing?
Yeah.
I thought the wife would have you doing some things around the house. I mean, really, right?
No, actually, she bought her own car, and I've been working on that thing, so I'm trying to get that thing ready for her to go out and do some racing of her own. So, but no, I think it was during the Charlotte race I went to Galot Motorsports Park and got to drive one of the Rad Torque Systems guys' dragsters, and I did real well there and had a lot of fun, won a lot of rounds, and it's really good to have more runs, passes down the track, regardless of what you're in. More, a hit it to tree is a hit it to tree, and just being able to focus and stay focused, kind of just it helps keep everything going. And then I went last weekend, which was kind of a good refresher, even though I didn't have as much luck in that one. But the racing was still really good, and it was fun to get out and go back to racing.
Keep it up. Hopefully you stay on top, Dallas.
I just wondered if, with this weather, you guys feel like you can come out and take a swing at it, or is it just a little too cold? Do you have to be more careful? How did it impact the preparation for today?
I don't think the temp was the big thing today. I think the biggest thing that they wanted to tiptoe around was the amount of rain that we got this morning. It's always a little iffy how the track's going to hold up. I don't know if you saw Greg. He made it. I think he went negative feet on his run. So they definitely err on the side of caution on these runs. If it was just this temperature and we didn't get any rain and it wasn't super humid, I'm sure that they would probably go for it. But being with the amount of rain and you're unsure of the track rubber, they tend to err on the little side of caution. But it ended up working out. And even though they were on the side of caution, it ended up, I think they might have missed it a little bit and been a little aggressive. So, but they do a really good job doing the best run that they can.
Weather conditions tomorrow obviously look pretty stellar. The rest of the weekend, even obviously the field is already bunched together pretty tightly after today. What do you expect going into tomorrow? What do you want to see out of your team? Final qualifying.
Especially to I know that tomorrow morning is usually going to be a good run. The low is going to be fairly cold tonight, so that first run that we make tomorrow is probably going to be one of the better ones. I would think the second one, being that it's going to be mid-70s, the track might be a little worse. But tomorrow morning, I would definitely like to see. I'd like to stay on that number one, and like to see obviously Greg get down the track and make a good solid run. And as long as we get our cars in our ultimate goal is 1, 2, and 3. So that's what I'd like to see. With the field bunched up as tight as they could, I'm sure all the other teams have been working hard too, and I'm sure they're going to come out swinging tomorrow morning as well. So it's going to be a tough feat if we can manage to stay number one.
Well, last thing, coming back from the break, like you talked about before, how important is it for you to kind of be the first person? Everybody's getting feedback under them. How important is it for you to be the first one to kind of take that big step to get a top spot?
Honestly, I don't know if I can thank Greg for not making it down, but I think when Greg went down, I think they made quick last-second adjustments to my car after the burnout, and it might have helped me squeeze through there and make sure that I get it down clean. You never know if it'll take it or not, whether that last changes. But it's always good to get every little bit of data that you can. Sometimes it comes back and bites you, but sometimes it helps. And I think you can honestly say this time it might have helped some. But those guys, they do such a good job. I don't think I could do that. Be responsible for that many changes in that short amount of time.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you say that they made adjustments after the burnout on your car?
Yeah, there's little adjustments that the team can make between wheelie bar and launch RPM and small things like that.
And you're aware you can see that they're making the change from the driver's seat?
Usually if they're going to make any sort of starting line RPM adjustment, I can see it, but as far as any other wheelie bar or anything, I have no idea what they do with that. We're one of the few teams that doesn't have radios, because you never know what car is in the staging lanes versus what's on the starting line, so we don't have radios. We just do pure hand signals for the driver. And some of that's to eliminate distractions. You don't want somebody in the staging lanes not know that guy's trying to stage right now and start talking into his ear. So, but they communicate and figure out what they're going to do, and if they usually do any last minute adjustments, chances are I'm not going to see it, but every now and then I get to see a little bit of it.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, Dallas. Congratulations.
Thank you.